Wholesaling, regulation, laws, and bans. Is wholesaling real estate banned? Or is there regulation? What's going on? What is up, guys? Ginn here. And in today's video, I want to have a candid conversation with you. What I want to do is give you a complete breakdown, the most comprehensive video in the history of wholesaling real estate when it comes to laws, regulations, and rules. What I want to do is really share with you exactly a complete guide of what's going on in the wholesaling real estate industry with all these laws, regulations. Some people call them bans. And I think it's really important for wholesalers, and this is why we're making it part of our 30-day wholesaling challenge, to really be educated on what's really going on. What in the world is going on in wholesaling real estate, right? We're seeing a lot of these wholesaling bans and regulations, and some people call them bans. I don't think they're a ban, but let me just give you the gist. There are, coming out the last 5 years, there's new regulations and laws that have to do with wholesaling real estate. Now, I want you to know this, and I want everybody who's watching this to know this. Wholesaling real estate is not banned. The assignment of contracts is legal in all 50 states. It is legal, compliant, and good. Now, there are rules. And what I'm telling you is wholesaling real estate is becoming legit. They're legitimizing wholesaling real estate. They are legalizing wholesaling real estate across the country. Wholesaling real estate used to be this little known strategy, this little known industry. But the truth is this business is getting bigger and bigger, and they're making rules to the game. This is it. Some people call them scary regulations. They call them scary bans and all these things. And the truth is, in wholesaling real estate, these regulations, these laws, these changes, they're a sign of a legitimate and mature industry. So if you want to look at cryptocurrency, for example, right? There used to be no laws about Bitcoin, and they started passing laws. Heck, the IRS on the 1040 used to have, do you own crypto, right? They're not banning it. They're making it legit, right? They're making some regulations on it, right? And that's how they're doing it. And so I want everyone to understand this, that the word regulation and the word ban is completely different. And I think I get a lot of wholesalers explaining this, and I just kind of wanted to make one video on this. I don't want to make 5,000 videos on this. But what I want to do is break down every single law, bill, and everything about wholesaling. And there's a lot of misinformation. Not a lot of people know is, they passed a wholesaling law in Texas? Probably didn't know that. Well, I'm going to tell you, right? So I want everyone just starting out to understand this, that the word regulation, the word ban is completely different than what you think and what it is. Regulation is to kind of make rules for the game. And when you make rules for the game, it gets more mature, right? And so this is like MMA regulation, right? The sport of MMA, mixed martial arts, heck, even boxing, was set to be banned. MMA was going to be banned. What they said is, hey, we got to make some regulations in MMA so we can make it a legit industry. So it's like a real UFC. So it's all legal and good. Like, you got to remember, they made weight classes. They said no eye poking. They said no hitting the family jewels, no headbutting, right? And they basically went to MMA and said, hey, you have to change the rules or we're going to ban you. And so basically what they did is they made regulations. And does it change MMA? Not really. Like, we kind of already know no eye poking, but they have to explicitly say no eye poking, right? Like, crypto is basically a legit business now. It's a legit industry because they have regulations. So I think a lot of people are really scared of wholesaling regulations and laws. And they really get freaked out over it. But they're doing this because this industry is getting bigger and it's becoming more legit. That is it. So there are regulations, not bans. You hear the word ban, they're not bans. And what I want to do is just give a whole video for you so you understand this. And the reason I'm making this video is next time I get somebody who says, wholesaling is banned in this state, I'm going to send them this video so I don't have to go on a 15-minute tirade rant. So I'm not a fan of some of these laws being passed, but you got to remember this industry has grown about 5 times since I started. So the amount of wholesalers in this industry has 5x'd, not doubled, not tripled, not quadrupled, but was it pentiplexed, right? No, penti-ubled. I don't know how you say it. It's basically 5x since the time I started. And millions are pouring in this industry. And so some regulations are going to happen. Some people say wholesaling's dead, and it drives me crazy. But wholesaling real estate is not dead. It is more alive than ever. It's actually becoming legit. Oregon just passed a law legalizing wholesaling. It was already legal, but they said, we're making sure everyone knows it's legal. Okay? You're getting fed a lot of stuff. You are being fed lies to sell courses, honestly, of wholesaling real estate. Oh, it's banned. Buy my thing. Buy my thing. Buy my thing. You get this all the time. And you're being fed lies to sell courses, to go out here and sell agendas. I will not allow that. What I want to do today is break down every single law, regulation possible in wholesaling real estate so you understand this the right way. Now, I want to give everybody a disclosure. Okay? Before I break this all down, I want everyone to get my legal disclosure, all right? Okay? Let's get the whole disclosure out here so I don't get in trouble. All right? Disclosure for Zach Ginn, all right? Let me pop it on the screen so I don't get sued from someone stupid. I strongly recommend consulting with a qualified attorney or an attorney at a title company before you engage in any real estate transaction. Before you write any contracts, I highly suggest you talk to a reputable attorney and or closing attorney at a title company. It costs no money to see if you can do what you want to do. Maybe I make this video and then make another law, right? Make sure you talk to a title company closing attorney with legal expertise on staff. So if you're going to wholesale a real estate deal or flip a deal, double close, whatever it is, I want there to be legal people and legal expertise on staff for the title company to make sure that you're doing everything legally. Are we clear here? For example, if you try to wholesale a short sale, I don't need to even talk about that, right? Because if you try to wholesale a short sale, a lawyer at the title company is going to say no because you have to write this disclosure. No. And so disclosure, before you close anything, you always use an attorney. You always have to use a closing title company that has an attorney on staff. If not, go to another one that's okay with wholesaling real estate. That being said, let's break this all down, okay? So there are, right now, I want to break down, there's 4 categories for every wholesaling real estate law and regulation that I think you guys should know about, okay? I think education is really important. Nobody really categorizes these wholesaling laws like this. And what I want to do is really show exactly all this stuff, okay? So let's kind of break down the categories so we know exactly what kind of laws. So there's 3 types of laws. There's 4 categories, but 3 laws. And so let's kind of break down what they are. So let's make them red because it's scary. The end of the world for wholesaling right now. Okay, it drives me crazy. I get this all the time. Number 1, I'm going to do the scariest laws first to the stupidest ones. So the first type of category for wholesaling regulation and laws are what I call high alert laws. There's only, I think, 3 states that have what I call high alert. What I mean by high alert law is this is a law where you should most likely double close and 100% seek legal counsel, an attorney or title company that gives you the okay to wholesale the way that you explain to the lawyer and they say, yes, that's legal, then you're good to go. Because the lawyer's telling you that's okay, right? These are 3 states you need to have high alert laws where you just should double close or get a license. Now, we're going to break that down first. Now, on the other end, there are something where we call disclosure laws, or what I like to call intent laws, where they made a regulation saying that your intent, if your intent is to only wholesale, then you have to be licensed. Now, some people say that's a ban, but you got to remember with an intent law, it's written in a way where if your intention was to double close, and then you end up wholesaling, you say, hey, I'm just going to wholesale it, you're good to go. The law of intent is very clear, the definition of intent. If you're somebody who used to rob a bank, okay, and you robbed 2 banks and you went to jail for 10 years and you go back and you open a bank account, you walking in the bank account, you walking into the bank branch is not an intent to rob the bank because you previously robbed banks before. A lot of people talk about robbing a bank. If you got arrested for robbing a bank and you get out of jail and you go to a bank again to open up your bank account, your intent is not to rob the bank because you've done it in the past. Your intent's what you're looking to do now. All right? Just want everyone to understand that. All right? If you have a DUI in the past and you're clean and now you're all good and you now hop on a car, your intent is not to drive drunk or manslaughter or any of that stupid stuff. So intent laws, I'll talk about that later, but that's another category of laws. Now, the last type of laws are what I call marketing laws. They have nothing to do with wholesaling real estate. They talk about the marketing of your equitable interest. So wholesaling assignments are fine. It's just the marketing of it that we have to talk about. And then we'll talk about current bills that are being put out. There's actually one bill that's what I call, quote, high alert that I'll talk about today. But pretty much, and then we'll go over TCPA laws or other type of marketing laws. So let's kind of break down all these laws, regulations, and all these things of exactly what is going on in wholesaling real estate. So let's go here. Let me just go share my screen and let's go over the laws and let's go out here and read them together. And so the first law we have to talk about is going to be the Illinois. And so let's talk about our first high alert law. Okay. Our first high alert law is going to be in the state of Illinois. So let's talk about Illinois. All right. These are high alert laws. Now, this is the highest, most alert, craziest law in wholesaling. Everything else you can assign. Illinois you can assign to. So what I'll explain is in 2019, I believe, Illinois made a law basically banning everything. Okay. And the law was so weirdly written that they said, oh, actually, we're going to give a whole definition of what we mean. And then they never gave a definition. Now, I will tell you this, in every single state that I talk about today, there's been not one case of any legal authority going after anyone because in my personal belief, all of these laws are unconstitutional. And my theory is because they're unconstitutional, they don't enforce it. For example, if there's a law saying you can't have a powdered wig, and it was from the 1700s that they didn't change the law, no law enforcement officer is going to go after it. Now, that's my thought, but we'll see. Okay, so let's talk about Illinois. It is going to be SB 1872, okay? Let's see. Let me get SB. Let's see here. Oh, they actually have a definition here. Okay, they got it right here. So SB 1872. Okay. SB. Sorry about this. Had it popped up by chance. Here it is. Okay. So let's break down SB 1872. Oh, this is for code teaching. 2019. Here it is. Man, they're making this really difficult. Okay, here it is. SB 1872. So this is the law. Basically, it's saying that you need a real estate license. Let's see. So you need a real estate license regarding the sale, lease to real estate of, where's the signs on here? Here it is. Whether another or themselves engages in a pattern of business of buying, selling, offering to buy, or sell, marketing for sale, exchanging, dealing in contracts, including assignable contracts. So basically what this law is stating here is if you have a pattern of business of buying properties with contracts, you need a real estate license. Now, this already is a null and void law, in my opinion, because if you're somebody that buys a pizza shop without a license and then you buy multiple pizza shops, then you should go to jail. But that's not a pattern of business technically, but it is. So, I mean, this has never been enforced ever because it's so stupidly written. But if you have a pattern of business going out here and dealing with contracts, you need a license. And I think this is the most high alert law. There's not one law like this ever anywhere else, and it's unenforceable. Now, the Illinois basically said, hey, we're going to give you the definition of what we think pattern of business is, and they never did. But basically, they said if you're in a pattern of business of dealing with contracts, so if you're exchanging contracts or dealing with it or selling or buying contracts, it's weird, right? And so if it says it's a pattern of business dealing with purchasing, including assignments for the purchase. So basically, if you read this law, technically double closing is in a gray area here, because if I am engaging in a pattern of business of buying contracts, no, selling contracts, no, I'm selling the property. So theoretically, in this law, you can double close. And I didn't think this was part of the law, except multiple title companies and closing attorneys in Illinois allow you to double close now. And so they don't really care anymore. FSBOs are being done on an insane basis, and people are flipping houses without real estate licenses all the time. And so I will tell you, I'm not going to tell you to double close, but people do it. And I call it a legal gray area, because nothing on here says that you can't buy a house and then sell that house in a pattern of business. Buying, selling, or offering to buy or sell contracts. So if I double close, I should be 100% legally okay to do this. Now, here's the cool part. We talked about double closing in this challenge. So that's pretty cool, right? And so I'm letting everybody know that probably you can double close here. Now, I'm not going to tell you that this is the 100% legal thing. It drives me nuts. But I'll tell you this. I would say you can double close, most likely. I'm not going to give you my exact perfect thing on this. But I will tell you, talk to your title company. You should be able to find that lets you double close in that state, because I know a lot that do now. Everyone was afraid to, and now they figured out no one's enforcing it. And really, you can kind of double close, so you're good to go here. Found a good way for this. So Illinois, high alert, I would say double close there. Now, let's go talk about the other state that is high alert, I think. And this is going to be the beautiful state of South Carolina. Now, this has been kind of one of the most hotly contested things that I've done. And as somebody that has wholesale deals in South Carolina and still does, everyone in South Carolina told me that is illegal. You can't do it. Mark my words. I'll eat my words. I can't do it. And basically what they did, and can I do a whole saga on this? I don't know if I can do a whole saga on this. Let me break down this saga. This law in South Carolina, which I will break down what the law is. I just want to show you this. And I want you to understand. This law, when it was introduced, it basically banned wholesaling real estate. Let me be completely transparent and be completely honest with you. This law completely banned wholesaling real estate. Now, you might be like, wait, what do you mean? Yeah, in May 7th or whenever they introduced this law, it banned wholesaling. No assignments, nothing. And it didn't. So how these laws are written is they don't ban assignment of contracts like outright, right? They say if you deal with a contract, you can't do it, but you can't. Like they make it very weird. And so what happened was it was basically going to be a ban of wholesaling. And what happened was the heavens opened up on the earth, and the most beautiful thing happened. These two men single-handedly saved the wholesaling real estate assignment of contract in the state of South Carolina. Okay? So basically what happened was Senator Davis of South Carolina single-handedly saved the wholesaling industry on May 9th, 2024, and nobody, let me explain this, nobody wanted you to know this. This was the biggest secret in the wholesaling real estate education industry. Nobody wanted you to know this. They wanted to shove a narrative down your throat that wholesaling's banned, because Every single person that talked about the South Carolina law talked about it before this amendment got inside of it. So let me explain. Okay. They try to sneak. So the South Carolina Board of Realtors and the Real Estate Board snuck a nasty bill to ban wholesaling. Tom Davis and Scott Talley did not let it slide through. They tried to shove it down committee so fast that nobody saw it. It banned wholesaling. Tom Davis and Scott Talley said, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa! I just read this. We got to change this." And they said, "Okay," because the Real Estate Board are not senators, so they introduced the bill. They couldn't do anything. And so I love this. And so let me explain what happened. The amendment basically banned wholesaling. And what Senator Davis said, he said, "Hey, we need to make an amendment. We need to write that the advertising and marketing of real property is to be distinguished from the advertising and marketing of a contractual position." And so what this law stated, which we'll read the law together, it said you cannot write a contract and sell the property. Wholesaling selling the contract. Well, what they wanted to do is made it very vague, so it all got banned, right? Because you had to make it vague. You can't ban buying and flipping houses. You can't ban assignment of contracts, right? But basically what they did was they said the advertising and marketing of real property is to be distinguished from the advertising and marketing of a contractual position in a sales agreement to purchase real estate. An advertisement that markets a contractual position to acquire real property from a person with either equitable or legal title does not imply, suggest, or purport to sell, advertise, or market the underlying real property is Here's the most beautiful sentence. Ready? Advertising your contractual position is permissible. That means you can legally market and assign your deal in South Carolina. Come on. My man, Tom out here, Senator Davis, saved wholesaling real estate. Not one person wants to mention this. Not one person, everyone lies to you about this. And not one person has mentioned that this is a real thing. Read the laws. Now, Senator Scott Talley made another one. And he wanted to change a couple things too. But here are the great men. Here they are. I gave them laser eyes because they're locked in right now. But Senator Davis proposed the amendment. Wholesale, and then the other one said wholesaling means having a contractual interest in purchasing residential property, then marketing the property. He said wholesaling does not refer to assigning the contract. That's another amendment that happened. And basically what this means is South Carolina made a bill to ban wholesaling. And then Senator Davis said, well, wholesaling is not assigning contracts. South Carolina, the law states that wholesaling is when you write up a contract and you try to sell the house with pretending to own the house. So technically wholesaling is illegal, but assigning your contract, marketing your assignment of contract, which we all know what wholesaling is, it's good to go. It's like saying you're banned from driving a truck. And the definition of driving a truck is driving a bicycle. If you have a car that has a bed in the back that looks like a Ford, you can drive that. But you can't drive a truck because driving a truck is driving a bicycle. Crazy, right? So the Board of Realtors got done. The gurus. And so this legally opened up wholesaling real estate to be completely legal in South Carolina. So everyone said it was banned because they didn't want to go over that law. It's so funny. And so this is cool. Now it makes double closing a little weird. It also said realtors can't wholesale, which is kind of funny. So if you get a license, you're banned. If you're not licensed, you can wholesale. So I just want everyone to understand first and foremost that this is not a ban. If you read the law, we are protected. So let's break down South Carolina Bill 4754. Now, it's very important we look at the text that got enacted. We got to look at the text that got signed by the governor, not the text that your guru put up that didn't get signed by the governor. Okay? So let's share my screen and show HB 4754. So basically it amends this and this. It basically says blah, 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 blah. I got to be a realtor, la, 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 la. Formal complaints. I mean, this is what the law is. And it's basically stating here, let's find the line where it says it. It said wholesaling means having a contractual interest in purchasing real estate from a property owner, then marketing the property for sale. Prior to prior to taking legal ownership. So what South Carolina is doing here, and what you understand is they're not banning wholesaling. They're banning listing a property on the MLS. Whoa! Wait, what? Your guru spun it. Let me tell you something that's going to blow your mind. They weren't looking to ban wholesaling here. They were looking to ban people from putting a property under contract and putting that contract, your contractual interest, on the MLS. Basically, they're trying to ban novations and ban realtors from wholesaling. So if somebody's a realtor telling you this is a ban, they don't know what they're talking about. Okay? So let's read this. If I write up a contractual interest to buy a house and then I market the property, not the contract, the property for sale prior to taking legal ownership, that's what they think wholesaling is. Now, remember, they added these sexy, amazing amendments saying wholesaling does not refer to assigning or offering to assign your contractual right to purchase the real estate. So you can do assignments of contracts legally and you're good to go. So whoever tells you wholesaling is not legal, like, just show them the law. What part of this makes wholesaling banned? You are allowed to assign and offer to assign your contractual rights. Come on. Drives me crazy. Let's also read the other amendment on here. So this is just like they're throwing in all this stupid real estate laws in here. I gotta see where the other one is. I can control F it, right? Command F? No, I have to search. Great. See what law this is. They throw these in here everywhere. But do you see how I think you're not an idiot? I'm going to show you all the laws. I'm not going to like just cherry pick where I want you to show. Let me see if I can search. Let's search. Can I search in here? Oh, okay, good. Show me where it says wholesaling. Okay, we got 5 matches. Okay. You see, I think you guys are smart. You can just read it and figure out yourself. Should highlight on here. Oh, wait. Okay, let's see here. Wholesaling. Highlight all. Okay, we got 1. Oh, it just jumped. There we go. There we go. Beautiful. Also says here, this is a good one, okay? Aforementioned duties owed to a client, a real estate brokerage firm and its agents are prohibited from engaging in or assisting in wholesaling. Oh my Lord. This means you can't be a realtor in wholesale, but if you're not a realtor, you can wholesale all day. Now, their definition of wholesaling is throwing. So in my opinion, you know, I can spin this to make it look bad, but honestly, what the text is doing is they're basically, what they're doing is they're trying to stop realtors from listing contracts on it. What's all the screaming? Bro, I'm screaming because of how insane that nobody else knows that wholesaling is legal in South Carolina. You're being fed lies. Also, that was it on there. So pretty gangster. That is South Carolina. All legal. And if wholesaling doesn't excite you, if you don't make millions of dollars wholesaling like me and the ability to make millions of dollars wholesaling doesn't excite you, then get out of here. I'm telling you. Guys, you should know the laws. It's very important. You're being fed all these lies. So let's go to the next high alert state. And then after that, that's pretty much it, right? There is the state of Virginia, which is very, very weird how their laws are written. We'll go pop up their bill. Their bill is kind of stupid, honestly. Let me do their bill. Okay. Their bill is HB 917. So let's read the one that the governor signed. I don't like this one. They don't have the underline on here. Here's the PDF. There we go. So this is their law. I call this another high alert law, honestly. And we'll get to Texas. Trust me. The problem is Texas is kind of on the bottom of like the laws that they have on there. It's not really crazy, but there is a law about wholesaling passed in Texas. So I think everyone should know about that. But nobody talks about it because no guru can push an agenda. So let's go here. It's going to be underlined, or do I have to go through? Oh, I have to go through all this. Great. We're just going to do. So do you see I do Control F on the laws? Because I don't. Okay. So it's basically saying you need to have a real estate license to do this. Somebody who offers to lease, rent, offers to rent, or if you offer to sell, buy, or offer to negotiate or deal in real estate contracts, you need to have a license. So it's saying if you sell or offer to buy or otherwise deal in real estate contracts, you need to have a license. It's kind of weird. Now, this is basically the entire law. Now, some people call it a ban. It is not a ban because title companies are letting you do it. So it's basically saying if you're offering to buy or sell real estate contracts on 2 or more occasions in a year, then you need to be licensed. So if you offer to buy, you offer to negotiate a contract, or otherwise deals in real estate contracts, including assignable contracts. So if you do more than 2 assignments in a year, you need to get a license. Now, what's the difference between offering to buy in real estate contracts and just double closing? You're good to go. Boom. You're pretty much good to go, right? And so this is how it works. And I want everyone to understand this, that you need to double close in the state, most likely. Okay. Now, let's go over this definition one last time so we kind of understand this. It's not saying a business of, it's saying 2 or more occasions. So if you are dealing in real estate contracts, 2 or more occasions, you got to double close, you get a license. It's very vaguely written. And so everyone's just double closing there. And I would highly recommend you double close there. I'm not giving you like extreme, like crazy definitions. But your average guru is going to say it's banned in Virginia. You can just double close. And so it doesn't even say if you anybody else, not even like Illinois. So you can even get a realtor to help you out too. Let's do this. Let's see. And then also it says here, a real estate broker is an individual who, for compensation or valuable consideration, offers to buy houses, right? And then it says, now does it say for consideration dealing with a assignment contract? I don't know. It's so vaguely written that if you double close, you should be good. Talk to your attorney. It is kind of a doing like that, right? Now, I love this on Midwest side. Now they're saying in 2025, they'll be stopping at double closing. You can't stop a double closing. So I want everyone to understand this, and I want to make this very clear, okay? If you ban double closings, you have to ban capitalism. And what I mean by this is there's only 2 or 3 things in the United States of America you can't buy and sell. And this is America, baby. Does anybody know in the comments, what are the 2 or 3 things in the United States you can't buy and sell? I'll tell you. First is Apache helicopters with machine gun turrets on them. You can't buy and sell those legally without licenses, right? Okay. Can I buy and sell, illegal things? No. There's laws against that. Okay, great. And can I sell nukes or weapons of war? No. And then, okay, Juan. Yeah, you can't sell humans. All right, Juan. Thanks for bringing that up. No, we banned that. Thank goodness. So, like in the United States of America, I'm talking about things. I'm not talking about. Okay, that's like a much. I'm talking about tangible goods for a business. Outside of weapons of war, you're pretty much legally allowed to sell and buy any inanimate object. Okay. Outside of weapons of war, you can basically buy and sell any inanimate object. Okay. That is it. That's how the United States works. And so fundamentally, real estate is what it is. And so if you ban somebody from buying something and then selling it, woo, oh boy, you are going to go against everything that is the United States of America. So I'm not even scared about that. So yeah, they're not going to ban. You can't ban double closings. Everyone says they're going to ban double closings. You have to go out here and ban like basically wholesaling real estate. And you'd have to ban people flipping houses. Like you have to ban all these crazy things, which you can't do. George Washington bought and sold property without a license. Like we have 160 years of this. Okay. Now the next laws I want to break down and kind of do it a little quicker are going to be the intent laws. And so let me kind of make this a little faster because I think these are basically laws where if your intent is to wholesale, then you have to get a license. Now, if your intent is to double close and actually buy the house yourself, and you end up assigning it at the last minute because you made a business decision, it's illegal. Now, there's some laws that says, if you don't disclose, the seller can get out of it. Well, the seller have to prove your sole intentions to wholesale. But if your sole intentions to wholesale or maybe even possibly double close, they can't do anything. Intention laws, you really can't. Like it's so stupid. So the first one's Arizona. Let's see here. HB 247. So let's pop that one up really quick. And basically it says if your intention is to enter into a purchase and sale contract and assigning that contract to another person, you are a wholesale buyer. Now, if you double close, you're exempt from this law. But it says the seller can get out of the contract if your sole intention is to wholesale throughout. But then it closes, you have nothing to do. So Arizona, that's pretty much a dud. Sorry, but that's basically the truth. Let's go to the next state here. Let's see. What's the next intent law? I got it listed right here. Hold on. Indiana. Let's go to the Indiana law really quick. There you go, Indiana. So India has this law. Let's pop it up. Look at all these realtors. What great people. Defines unlicensed real estate solicitor. It requires unlicensed real estate solicitors to include a specific disclosure. So let's go to the latest version. Should be in here. You guys see it? Now I gotta share my screen. There we go. Okay. So basically, let's see what an unlicensed real estate solicitor is. It includes somebody who uses solicitation, including websites, calls, and all these things, right? Refers to a person that does not have a real estate license, does not include a home builder, government entity, a person, inquires whether a home is available for purchase without presenting or entering an agreement with the person, offers to purchase the home with the intent to take title or use the home as a personal residence. Or if your intent is to use it as an investment. So yeah, you're pretty much, if your intent is to double close on your marketing always, you're good. So I mean, that's pretty simple, So these intent laws are always really stupid. We can kind of go here to Wisconsin. So Wisconsin has a law too. I don't think a lot of people know this. I actually said on my live stream, I didn't believe because the bill died. And I was like, wait, the bill died. But it ended up, there was another bill that it died for. And so basically what it says here is I'll break it down. I was wrong. Wisconsin does have a law now. Let me break down this law. Let's change this. There we go. Wisconsin's law basically states here, you need a disclosure. A real property wholesaler needs to disclose that they're wholesaling it. So if you assign, you have to disclose it. That's basically it. Does it have the definition? Let's read this. I'm trying to pop it out. It's so weirdly done. Let's just look up assignment on here. Okay. A real property wholesaler is somebody who enters into an agreement and intends to assign. So if your intention is not to assign, you're pretty much good to go. Now, if you want to go legally by it, you just give the disclosures. I think they're kind of stupid, but just have the intention to double close and you're good to go. Because anyone can double close, right? So I don't think that's that big of a deal. Now, Iowa has their own law. So we'll talk about Iowa's law. I mean, they're all the same thing. They're making wholesaling legit. That's the way I look at it. So like I'm not really too worried about it. Let's pop up what the law was on here. I think it's 2394. So 2394 real estate. Here it is. And this is going to be their beautiful law here. Basically saying that a wholesaler means a licensee. Wholesaling is the practice of entering into a signable contract with an owner for the purpose of marketing and selling the equitable interest, basically with the intent. That's basically saying if your intent is to do that, they need to have a license. But I think it's the intention that's the issue. It doesn't ban it. It basically says here, residential property, wholesaling, they shall disclose. So they just want you to disclose things on here. You don't have to disclose if your intention's not to do that. So one off, you're good to go. Again, let's kind of do Pennsylvania. They had their own little stupid law about intentions too. Let's prop this up here. Pennsylvania 1173. Let's go talk about this one now. Is this the bill? Here we go. So a lot of people think this is the end of the world. Like these laws are pretty stupid. And they don't do anything. Okay. So it's saying that you need to disclose if you do a wholesale transaction. So this is to promote the sale, exchange, or purchase of an equitable interest. With the intent. And then they say, well, the seller can get out whenever they want. This is what Pennsylvania said. But here's the thing. The seller can get out if your intention is only to wholesale. Kind of crazy. Their intention is so if they can get out whenever they want if your intention is to wholesale. If your intention is to double close, there's nothing that seller can do to get out of the contract. Boom. Simple. Just telling you, it's crazy right now. And so, again, doesn't do anything. So let's kind of talk about marketing laws too. Now, marketing laws, I think, are probably the dumbest of them all because they're the biggest, like nothing. So marketing laws. So let's kind of use, I don't want to brush through all this because I want to bring them all up. So let's kind of do them all together. So the first one is going to be Nebraska. Nebraska has a marketing law. And so let's kind of talk about Nebraska. So let's get Nebraska on here. Hold up a second. Let me pop up my sheet. Okay, where is it? Okay. So it's going to be LB892. So let's go here. Okay. So this one got adopted a while ago. So it's pretty stupid. But January, March, journal. Here it is. Offering the amendments. Is this it? No, I gotta read this here. Hold on. Real estate. State, Nebraska. There we go. Okay, detailed, introduced, final reading. Here we go. Okay, so this is the law in the state of Nebraska. Okay, so basically what they're putting is you're a real estate broker if you are publicly marketing for sale in equitable interest. Now, what does publicly marketing for sale mean? They ain't going to tell you. It's not. So they don't say it. But publicly marketing is to make it public that you are doing your equitable interest. Now, calling somebody else is not making it public, in my opinion, or anything like that. So as long as you don't list it on Zillow or on the MLS, you're good. Now, to make this kind of as streamlined as possible, I want to let's do the Oklahoma one, because that one's just as dumb. It's basically the same one. A wholesaler. Okay, what it was the HB1148, I think. What is this? Okay, Republican more than is it the and so this is from the senator. That's great. So let's read this. I don't think anyone talked about this. This is how they explain the law. The practice of wholesaling is when somebody enters into a contract to purchase real estate and attempts to resell their interest in a real estate contract to a different purchaser before closing. They have no intention of actually purchasing the property, blah, blah, blah. Wholesalers will publicly market the property as if they own the house when they only have a contract. So basically, it's necessary for you to, let's see. So basically, what it means is publicly marketing it as if you own the property. So if you say you're selling a contract, you're pretty much good in HB 1148. But let's go break down what the law states. And read it. So this is the wrong one. Predatory Real Estate Wholesalers Act. So it'd be HB 1148. And then we're going to do this for Oklahoma. Here we go. Can't find this here. Hold on. Let me get it all set up for you. Here's the version. There we go. Basically saying it means you're banned from publicly marketing for sale and equitable interest in a contract. So as long as you don't publicly tell everyone about it and you keep it private marketing, you're good to go. All right, last couple ones here really quick is North Dakota has their own law. Let me pop up North Dakota. Let's pop up their law really quick. So this one was passed, I think, this year, maybe last year. They basically have the same thing here. And let me go pop this up, but it's going to be pretty quick. This one says, so the section is not exempt from the definition of real estate broker for consideration of publicly marketing. It means a person who enters into a contract they shall disclose. So I think this is an intent one, that they hold an equitable interest. Let's see. Pop this up here. So you need to have a license if you publicly market, which it says here. So public marketing, just like Oklahoma, pretty simple. Okay, get through the gauntlet here. Let's go through the Kentucky bill really quick. I know this is boring, but I'm just trying to get this as quick as possible. So I think this was HB something. Let me pop it up really quick here. HB 62. Let's do Kentucky. Okay, here it is. Okay, current and final bill. And basically what Kentucky does here is they said here that being a realtor includes advertising for sale and equitable interest for the purchase of real property. So I mean that you can definitely double close, but so you can assign it's the marketing that they don't like the advertising. What's advertising? They don't do definition of here. So honestly, you can just wholesale fine. If you privately market, you should be good. I believe this is going to be a public marketing law. They don't really explain it too well. No one's ever been talking about it. Like Oklahoma says, publicly marketing like you own it that's what public marketing is. So who knows what that means? But basically, if you double close, you should be good too. And like usual, like I always say here, if you privately do it, you should be good. And double closing, obviously, on here. Now, let's do the Oregon law really quick. And so let me just get the definition of this. I think this was passed this year. I could be wrong. Let's look here. HB 4058. Is this it? Here it is. So what Oregon did here is they legalized wholesaling. They made it actually a legit industry. So let me show you what this was. So it basically talks about residential property wholesaling and try to legalize it. So what I mean here is, can I make this bigger? There we go. So basically it's making their definitions, blah, 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 blah. But it means a residential property wholesaler is an individual who engages in residential property wholesaling. So what's the difference in residential property wholesaling? It means to market residential property for which the marketer has an equitable interest or an option to purchase it at the time of marketing. The marketing has held the position for less than 90 days or invested less than 10 grand in land development. So it's saying here is a wholesaler, somebody who markets. That's funny. So if I assign, I should be good. So it's making a law about the marketing. And it says if you market equitable interest, then you need to get a special wholesaler license for $200. They're not banning it. They're actually trying to make it more legit, and they're trying to legitimize it, which is kind of funny. So if you double close, you're good to go, and you end up wholesaling it, you're good. They're not banning the assignment here because none of these laws ban the assignment. Every guru is trying to give you some stupid little thing of why it's banned. It's not. Okay? So crazy to me. But like this is what people tell me. Now, for what everyone's been waiting on is going to be for Texas, right? Texas has a law. And they're like, what do you mean? It's technically not a law, but basically it is a code. And what I mean by this is they basically have a law now about equitable interests in real estate. So let me pop that up here. And it's going to be the Texas code. So it's like the code of laws. So let's pop it up here. So this is Texas. I think everyone's all scared like, oh, what do you mean Texas? Wholesaling's banned in Texas. No, it's not. But there's already laws in Texas about wholesaling. I just want you guys to know this. And so let's pop it up. It is not like it's like a code. I know it's weird. It's 1101.0045. and it was signed by the governor in 2023, saying a person may acquire an option or an interest in a contract to purchase real estate, then sell it or assign without holding a license. Wait. I thought Texas was banning wholesaling. The governor just signed something legalizing wholesaling? What? Who? Yeehaw! Come on. They just legalized wholesaling. Drives me crazy. It just says you're not engaging as a broker and you disclose that you have an equitable interest. They say if you do that, you can basically wholesale. The governor signed this law last year. Not one guru said anything about this. You know why? Because it doesn't fit their agenda. It doesn't fit their agenda. Someone said Texas is working on a law for wholesaling bans. Homeboy, the governor just signed this. The governor just signed this last year. Come on. I don't want to hear no guru spilling this stupid stuff to me. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear no guru saying anything that's so stupid. Drives me crazy. Okay? Drives me crazy. I hear gurus talk their talk all day, every day. Holy moly. Okay? Drives me crazy. Now, I will tell you about a certain law that is being, it's kind of scary, though. Not scary, but it's a high alert law for the state of Ohio. I don't think anyone says this. No one has mentioned this because everyone's writing their video about how everything's banned in Ohio. But Ohio did go out here and make a law about wholesaling. It's a little scary. I'm not going to lie. It's kind of, I don't like it, but let's read it together and kind of basically see what it is. So it's basically stating here that wholesaling it's engaging in the business of buying, selling, or offering to buy or marketing for sale, dealing in contracts. So it's another dealing in contracts, including novations and assignable contracts. So it says you need a license to deal with contracts. It's kind of like those high alert laws. If you double close, you should be fine. They have no definition, but if you're dealing in assignable contracts, well, what if my contract's not assignable, right? I'm not offering to sell real estate. I'm offering to sell contracts and market contracts. Double closing, you're pretty much good to go there. And yeah, that's basically how those laws work. So I think a lot of wholesalers get really confused about this. And you think you should be fine. Don't really worry about this. I think a lot of wholesalers think it's banned there. Connecticut also has come out with a disclosure law. I actually don't know if it's going to pass, so I don't want to mention it. I think the Ohio one's going to pass. But Connecticut wants to make a disclosure law for the intent. Pretty stupid. And then we're getting Rick on this really quick. But one thing I do want to tell is everybody about the last thing. It's called the DNC myth. Really quick. So let's get Rick on here. I want to get his opinion on this. But basically, I got to run out real quick for another meeting. But it's a big meeting, FYI. But basically, for DNC, a lot of people say, do you call DNC? Do you not call DNC? What I want you to understand is DNC it's banning people from calling them if you are telemarketing. Now, the definition of telemarketing is to encourage the sale or encouraging somebody to buy a good or service. So if you're offering to sell a good or service or to buy it, it is banned. So if I go to you and say, do you want to buy my insurance program? That's against DNC. If I call you and say, will you buy my coaching guru program? That's banned. If I say, hey, I want you to give me money so I can wash your car, banned. Hey, I want to call you and I want you to have me represent you and you pay me as a broker, banned, because I'm encouraging this. And if I say, hey, Rick, can I give you money so I can buy your house?
Sure.
So I'm not encouraging you to buy anything?
No, it's not a product.
I'm trying to give you money.
Yeah.
Right? So it's legal. It's all legal to call somebody and say, hey, can we give you money? Right?
That's it. As long as you're not brokering, you're fine.
Hey, I'm looking to buy your house. Like, I want to give you money for it.
It's not technically a service.
It's not I'm not selling a good. I'm also not selling a service. I'm encouraging to buy somebody's property. So that's why it's legal if you call people up and say, hey, can I buy your car? Can I buy your car?
Yeah.
Now, if I call and say, hey, do you want to sell your car? Can you sell your car through me and I make money off of it? Sell me your car. No. Here's the funny thing. No used car salesman calls you for you to sell your car. They call you so you can go buy their car.
Exactly.
They want you to spend your money on them. So DNC is completely legal from my definition of wholesaling real estate. Drives me crazy. But what I got to do is I got to run out here. But Rick's going to talk and basically explain how these laws are pretty stupid. But have fun in the comments.
I got it.
I got a lot of people. I heard. Get out of here.
Okay. I got this. So, first of all, you guys spend way too much time trying to decide what's legal and what's not legal because you buy into all the media hype, specifically influencers saying banned, you can't do this anymore. Guys, I've been doing this 21 years. It never stops. I was pounded with this in 2003, and it's more prevalent today. So I know Zach goes deeper in the woods. So I want to give you 3 facts that you understand. Someone's been doing this 21 years. This will never go away. And we have some bad apples out there. My problem is a lot of the people that created the chaos in wholesaling are the ones who want to sell you the cure to the problem. So when Zach says it doesn't fit someone's narrative, anybody can go out and find the negative about anything you want, but they will never tell you about all these laws Zach just showed you of where they're actually making wholesaling compliant and making it correct. So I'm going to give you my thoughts on this in the quick cures because I want to spend time on like doing deals. So I've done 3 deals today. I've made over 6 figures. I don't spend a ton of time on this crap because it's so easy to figure it out. And if you guys sit there and fester and you consume people's content that tells you like where stuff's going, listen, there's plenty of deals to be done out there. Real estate's never going away. And I promise you, at the end of the day, I will always find a way for you to find discounted properties and take them down. How we do it? That's the point we can debate all day long, but you guys spend too much time in this arena. I'm just telling you, number 1, just stay away from the word wholesaler name. You pique all title companies, attorneys, and sellers when you say you're a wholesaler. So just redefine yourself. I help people get their properties sold. I help people where most realtors won't even help you out in this. So stop pigeonholing yourself under the name wholesaler. I've already taken this like whatever, it is what it is. I just feel like we're kind of being, what's the word for it? What do they call it when it's like cancel culture? Our entire United States economy is founded on capitalism. End of story. It's never going away. And if you don't like it, go to another country. I don't know what else to tell you. That's number 1. Number 2, I actually agree with all these states that thinks there should be disclosure in wholesaling. Sorry, this is the truth. The problem is it would weed the people out that are operating unethical. You're like, oh crap, Rick, you're going to kill my deals. Honestly, it's so simple. You can write in an addendum in your contract. Me and Zach are going to update our contracts to reflect it. A contract already says we're out to make a profit. So it's already disclosed. Maybe we double disclose it. Here's the truth, guys. If you deal with people that need to sell their house versus people who want to sell your house, 99% of them do not care because they know you're providing them a service, you're giving them speed and convenience, and they understand the predicament they're in, and they know you are the lifeline to help them out. The people that won't sign these disclosures, people are probably lying to them and hiding crap on them anyways. And I actually agree with this one. I don't think we should have a state telling us how to do it. I definitely don't think a guru should be telling us how we need to do this. You guys got to take it on yourself. And honestly, whenever I tell someone, hey, I'm going to make a profit of you, I don't know if I'm going to keep it, if I'm going to flip the house, fix and flip it, which you know I'm never going to do, or I'm going to assign it to one of my partners. If you do it up front, 9 times out of 10, they will never give you an issue. If you try to disclose it at the end, it is an absolute nightmare because they feel like we're misleading. For some reason, someone's been teaching wholesaling to hide everything till the very end. Just not the fundamentals of wholesaling. And that's why a lot of people screw it up. So guys, if you disclose it early, you should never have an issue, because you go, listen, Pete, remember when I signed the contract, I told you, I'm going to do option A, B, or C, and you said you're okay with it. You can't come back crying wolf at the end because a realtor barked at the end. Once I disclose it to my owner and I have their signatures and I know in my heart I've disclosed it to him, I sleep like a baby at night. Look, guys, 90% of my deals are sold via assignment. Sometimes we have to go around it. And here's my final caveat, okay? Put in the comments. I love the comments. Double closing cures every ailment of all these laws in wholesaling. Well, technically, it says you can't have more than X amount of deals. Listen, the day they outlaw a double closing, leave America, because you're going to have massive problems. Because if someone can, that means a regular homeowner cannot sell their house on their own without the consent of some sort of government state license or something like that. And I'm telling you, if we ever get to that point, don't even worry about wholesaling. We got bigger issues. I don't think it'll ever get to that point, because remember, the root of an assignment of contract was developed by banks, by mortgage companies, and by insurance companies. 98% of their business has to operate under the assignment of contract law. Your mortgages you all go out there and buy, they are sold on average 3 to 5 times after you close on your deal. Why? Because they want to quick turn the cash. We want to do the same thing. We should have the exact same rights. God forbid a so-called wholesaler that had the exact same privileges that I had, assignment without like major issues. Now they want to tell you how to run your life, how to run your business. And we need to regulate by doing, whatever it is, a board or whatever it is. And they openly admit that eliminates competition for them. Not me, dude. I'm never going to do it. And honestly, I'm so glad that me and Zach are in the space. I don't have a beef with anyone. I just think you should get videos like this. I know they're not the most exciting, but it gives you full disclosure about everything going on in all the states. But just like in life, you can find anything negative you want. Oh my God, so-and-so's going to ban it. No, it just says very clearly, like the South Carolina law, I just don't understand. It's clearly written in there. You have the right to assign your contracts. And everybody wants to hang their word on the word intent. Go talk to 10 lawyers about intent. And I'm just telling you, at the end of the day, I don't want anyone to get fined. I think it's ridiculous what we're all doing. We all agree with it. But we got to just stop promoting this crap, guys. Double closings fixes most of the cures. And if you just do disclosure up front and you pay attention to what's going on in your state where you operate, we're fine. We can deal with this. We'll navigate through it. We'll be fine. And I promise you, I can do an installment land contract. I can do a land trust. I can do a double closing. I can do a lease option. I mean, I could go a million ways. So if you block me on one, I got 5 other ways to go. And I'm willing to share it with you. But if you have the ability to do an assignment of contract, in my opinion, it is the most transparent way to take down a wholesale deal. End of story. It minimizes your cost, minimizes your risk, and that's it. If we're going to try to govern ourselves all on intent, like everything you do in your life, you can't manage life based on intent, because intent is what you're doing in the moment. It is not your past behavior. If that was the case, every criminal that got out of jail would be guilty of intent based on their previous history. So I want you guys to have the same unfair advantage I had 21 years ago. And I'm going to fight for that right. Because if we all just fold and go, yes, please regulate me. Please tell me I got to get a license. Please tell me how bad I am so I can do everything the way you do. Once you roll over and do that, we're all you are just going to give up so much money, so much of your rights. Nothing will get done. It's going to be just like the state of California. Sorry, that state's being run into the ground. You know it. It's the most beautiful state, in my opinion, in all of the union. But they have the most screwed up laws, and the state is on its way to bankruptcy. You can't build houses there. You can't have a house over $5 million without paying a luxury tax. You can't build a new house without putting on solar panels. They're shoving EVs down our throats. Everybody's leaving California. So if states are going to do this, Thank God I'm in the state of Florida. Somebody put on here, state of Florida is, it's been, what was it? I saw this comment. It's absolutely 100% wrong. And something about the state of Florida. If somebody thinks it's illegal in the state of Florida, dude, lock me up because I'm going away for a long time. So guys, I work with attorneys. I'm not stupid. But are we really going to headhunt people in South Carolina through the REC? By the way, they have no subpoena powers. They have none of it. I don't get it. So if you have a comment, put it in there. We can discuss this. I'm tired of the crap being shoved down like your mouse. There's got to be two sides to a story. If you only get one side, it is completely agenda driven. I'm on the side of wholesaling, period. Doesn't mean I'm right or wrong. I'm on the side of wholesaling. How can we make this legal, ethical, and we all cooperate? Number one, you disclose in your contracts that you are an investor out to make a profit. I've done this from day one. If you do it, you sleep better at night. If you have a guru that taught you to hide everything and everything's got to be masked, then you got to do monster deals because you can't double close on a $3,000 assignment. And most of you are starting off in that category. And that's why I'm fighting for your right. If me and Zach don't fight for your right, are we just going to roll over and let every influencer say, you've got to go through my program to get this done? And by the way, if you think it stops with wholesaling, one of the worst abusive practices going on right now is subject to assignments. It's being taught nationally. You're teaching it to people that have never even done a wholesale deal, and you are transferring and selling debt that is already secured in somebody else's name. If you're going to tax someone, that's where, in my opinion, the most focus needs to be done on, because it's the most abusive and people can be massively manipulated. And when you do it, you just make that homeowner that came to you that was ultimately vulnerable, and they're the one that's going to pay the price. When it gets sold 2 or 3 times, the person goes, hey, listen, I'll give you 20 grand, but I'm never making a payment the rest of my life on it. House gets foreclosed on. You, the wholesaler that took this course and decided it was wonderful. I do not agree with selling assignment of contracts on subject to deals. Why? Because people don't understand the implications of what happens if somebody stops making the payments. Not a lot of people are going to use third-party escrow accounts and do it the right way. I believe there's a right way and a wrong way. My opinion is, if you're brand new, if you do not have the help of someone who's seasoned and is reputable and understands they're always protecting the original debt holder, then it's wrong. By the way, they're going to attack that one hard. As soon as they're done with the wholesalers, they're going to attack creative financing. But the word creative is in it for a reason. They'll always have a workaround to do it. I just don't believe in all the tactics going on out there. I don't think you should keep secrets from banks. That's what they call fraud. And by the way, there was a mention of someone who went to jail for short sale. They went to jail for short sale fraud. They signed affidavits. They did the complete opposite. It's considered fraudulent. It's like forging someone's signature. When you get implicated with the word fraud, it is a massive felony. You cannot wipe it out with a bankruptcy, and they are the worst ones you can be attacked on. So fraud would be forging someone's signature and basically absolutely going against what you put down in writing and doing the exact opposite. Now, if you get hit with fraud, the laws are already in place. That really has nothing to do with wholesaling. If you're fraudulent, you're fraudulent. If you steal people's wallets or you rob a bank or do anything like that, fraud's fraud, guys. If you manipulate people's signatures and you forged it, that's considered fraud. Fraud is already built in. It's already there. And a lot of these gurus and stuff are mixing up, well, so-and-so did a short sale flip and they got nailed for fraud and they're going away 15 years. No, they duped hundreds of people. They manipulated signatures and they signed affidavits. They notarized affidavits from banks saying they wouldn't do X, Y, and Z, and they did X, Y, and Z. And if you do that, you should be nailed. You should be nailed to the cross, and that's the end of it. So I don't know what else to say with this, guys. We're spending too much time on this. I hate doing these videos. I really do. And I came over and took this on purpose on Zach to say, listen, stop obsessing about this stuff. When people got nothing going on in their life, you obsess about the negative. And a lot of you are falling victim to it. I'm saying, read your state laws, stay up on them, disclose to everybody. Do not, I cannot repeat this, do not get your real estate license unless it is mandated by your state and there's no way around it. A lot of the gurus told you, go get your license. It's going to make you transparent. It's a nightmare. You're going to get so many complaints. You're going to drive your broker nuts. Your brokers now through NAR, they're trying to figure out how to access your assignment fees so they can get their commissions off of it. NAR is nothing more than a money pit looking to suck us all dry. Do not join that cult. It's going to be a nightmare. You're not going to like the outcome. I promise you on that. So, what else we got? Guys, I love wholesaling. I vote for the side of wholesaling. But I just, the amount of dispositions, like specialty that's been taught over the last 7 years has created a lot of these problems. And it's funny. Here's the ironic thing is, we're all talking about like getting groups to, if I thought a group could get together and solve this problem, I would be all over it. I would just go, okay, that's it. My suggestion was we put up a fund, everybody puts up or shuts up, and the big players put in big chunks of money, and we go help out the little guy that gets attacked on the South Carolina law, because we know the law, the federal government is on our side the way it's written. Okay. And all we need is one case win. One case win, you put 100 grand, 150 grand aside. I don't mind giving to a fund like that, and we support them. We don't need all this training and crap like that. Maybe a disclosure. I'm fine with a disclosure. You can put an addendum or put it in your contract, and then teach people how to do double closes. I don't think double closes are regulated, and that's it. And let's just stop using the word wholesaling. So if they're going to target wholesaling, let's just recreate it. Let's just, hey, we just find smoke and deals like that. I'm not wholesaler. What's that? Like, I don't even know what that is anymore. I hate the way it's going, guys. We are in like the cancel culture in full term. And listen, at the end of the day, sellers should have choices. And let's face it, we do not deal with people that want. So this whole thing with MLS and like wholesaling, somehow you guys missed the message on it. Can you get a deal off of that? Yeah. As a starter, absolute nightmare. You guys have all bought the courses for him. I've heard all your success stories. Like there's so few of them and thousands of courses sold. I just don't know why maybe gurus should start regulating the products they sell and stop making these ridiculous problems. Maybe they should just regulate themselves first. And then once we have a consensus there, then we can go out to wholesalers. Because if we teach the right practices, it should catch on. Face it, guys, bad wholesalers never make it. Bad wholesalers wind up chasing, like, I'm going to chase MLS. I'm going to be a disposition specialist. All I'm going to do is JVs. And they're all legitimate avenues. But the problem is you're all trying to skip the basic fundamentals of wholesaling. Finding deep discounted properties, matching them with cash buyers that want to take over your position, and everybody wins. I don't think anybody disagrees with that. Even people I don't agree with, I would say they love that. How it's being the information is being disseminated and stuff, that's a whole nother thing. So the big question is, how do we fix this problem going forward? Here's how I always look. Find out what you can do to fix your wholesaling business. Reach out to your local legislators. Reach out to your congressman in your state and get involved. I know mine personally. I go to his office once a month and I talk about it all the time. Does he listen? Not really. He doesn't really care. But like, we have to get in front of him. But do we really think we're going to rally and like we're going to let like a secret group? Like, if I thought it would fix it, I would go crazy with it. I think we set up a fund and we find a way to sponsor it and we put all our biases aside. And I still can't find a person in America that's been persecuted for doing a wholesale deal. So we have probably put thousands of hours into this topic. We got to stop it, because after a while, if nobody's guilty or no one's ever even been accused or taken to a trial for it, put 2 and 2 together here. Now, I believe if you follow the right guidelines, you should be in the clear. So start with yourselves. Let's worry about ourselves. We are cowboys, and let's face it, not all influencers agree with what we do, but we all, like, I love wholesaling. A lot of influencers, they started off wholesaling. I think it's great because you can do whatever you want after that. You can fit it to your lifestyle. I'm one of these crazy people that just stays in wholesaling. I love it. I've had just incredible experiences this week. I love this. I love the rush. I love the rush. So Luke's got a great question. I'm wrapping it up with this. How do you find deeply discounted distress houses? Go to freewholesaling.com and learn how it's done. You've got to learn the fundamentals of wholesaling and stop buying these ridiculous marketing pitches that every investor gets you hooked on. And by the way, me and Zach, the only person to come on here and tell you exactly what to do without trying to get deep in your pockets. Because every show I go on, they're like, well, I can show you how to do that. Just call this number and we'll do an exploratory call. AKA, you're about to get the crap sold out of you. I got to pay this guy 20, 25%. And then once he sells you, I'm going to stick you in a program. I'm not going to show it to you before because God forbid that would reveal what my, you'd have to actually evaluate if it's a good decision. Not one guru that I've ever seen will show you their course and let you use everything before you pay them a dime. So why don't we start there? Like that would be dynamite. I know everybody has access to my state lawmakers, Congress people, gurus, and you guys. I think it's fair. And every now and then we have to correct things as time updates and changes. So number one, start with freewholesaling.com. Number two, learn the fundamentals of wholesaling. If you learn how to do fundamentals of wholesaling, it's actually easy. It's when you start thinking you can change discounted properties on MLS and you could just be a national JVer because you took someone's course and they're going to teach you just how to piggyback on all wholesalers back. Like you're doomed for failure on those techniques. If you think you're going to take a driving for dollars course and you're going to master wholesaling, come on, guys. You guys are so much smarter than this. It means I get a lot of crap, but at the end of the day, all I focus on is what you want. If I just want to make a crap load of money, I'd charge you for everything. I make money wholesaling. Zach makes some money wholesaling. That's what we do. We use the affiliates and everything else for products that we think we believe in, we use in our business, and they support helping keep us these sites up. And somebody goes, well, you make all your money through affiliate sales. I go, you don't know me. That's like tiny, tiny little money to me. Tiny. I've done over 110 grand just this week, just JVing with you guys. So do you think I care about whatever the money is on like an affiliate? Like to me, I can do a lot of damage by doing wholesaling. The affiliate money, it's just gravy. I get accused of, well, you guys make so much money on affiliate sales. I go, if you think that's a lot of money, you're broke. You don't understand the game. I've been doing this 21 years. I started off dead broke. I know exactly how it is. I know exactly what you need to get going. I love this business, but like, if you think I get rich off of like affiliate sales, I support companies that bring kick-ass products to the market and I use in my business. And by the way, I pay for all these products. And you know I'm not married to anybody. If I think they're doing a bad job or Zach does, we just call them out. And we say, hey, this isn't working anymore. This is what we're doing. And then we also go to companies and go, we need to implement this. And if you don't do it, we're going to find someone that's going to listen to us and we're going to figure it out. And we're going to help people out. Skip tracing has been a massive problem. Hats off to Deal Machine for solving it. Incredible owners. Incredible company, incredible staff, and they see the long-term vision of what me and Zach see. That's why we're going to, but the minute they go sideways, I'll raise my hand and I will talk to them privately and then I'll go publicly to try to get them to do what I want to do. That's the power of what me and Zach do. Just because we do it differently than anybody else in this industry does not make us the villain. In fact, we're somewhat the Robin Hood in this business. We just tell you the way it is. My job is to teach you how to get your first deal, Luke. And then after you get your first deal, I'm going to teach you how to get to the 100 grand because I got to get you financially free. And then you're going to go, man, how can I do a deal with these guys? They put it all on the line. They've never asked me for a dime. Maybe we need to have just gurus. Listen, gurus can charge whatever they want. That's your right in America. And I don't agree with it in wholesaling, but it is what it is. So I love this business, guys. I want you guys to get the truth. Let's focus on getting deals and just having fun. And if a guru wants to get with me, you want to have real impact on change, set up a legal fund. We'll all support it. I will take my bias and my personalities, our disagreements. And if we can agree, hey, this is what we're going to do to fight wholesaling. Because if we have case law, now we can make states really shake in their boots when they pass these ridiculous laws. And there's going to be huge financial implications if they don't win. I'm telling you, they're not going to win. But you guys got to do your part. I think we should disclose to everyone on what we do. It's a possibility. We assign the contract. We have the right in this, and we're disclosing it. And we're also going to we're going to make a profit. We could also have a loss. I put that in my contracts too. I've had losses, but if you do wholesaling right, you should never have a loss, because the only way you really lose money is if you don't know how to wholesale. If you want to fix that, join us over at freewholesaling.com. And if you really want to up your game, come over to Flip with Rick Plus. They're like, oh crap, he's got a paid service. No, it's not required. All my teachings are at freewholesaling.com. I don't hold back anything. If you want to do a JV deal with us, I make you a path to freedom doing it, or $99 a month. You get direct access to me and Zach. Nobody has a program even close to us. We have the most amazing wholesaling community, because I believe in communities. I think they do help. Anyone who does one-on-one coaching and wholesaling, run to the hills, buddy. They have no idea what they're doing. If you're really good, there's no way you would give up your time and teach one-on-one. How do I do it? I help communities. We guide each other, we help each other, and we do deals together. And the only way I can do a deal with you is I have to give you my best A game possible. And that's what I do on a daily basis. And if you want to join me, come over to Flip with Rick Plus. If you're a Flip with Rick Plus member, do me a favor, wait 2 minutes. I'll join you after this live stream, and we'll get all your questions answered. And hopefully we can do some deals together. So I'm amped up today, man. I'm getting ready to walk out the door and work out when I'm done with this. I love this business. I'm very passionate when I do. And I want everybody to have the same ability to wholesale from the day I started in 2003. The only way we do that is we got to tell you the truth. And if it's painful for other gurus, then maybe you should tell both sides of the story and stop telling people they're going to go to jail. That is the most ridiculous analogy I've ever heard. And the only examples I've seen cited are people who actually committed fraud, which we have laws in place in the United States. If you manipulate and you 100% trick people and you forge documents, you do go to jail, and you deserve to go to jail. But you don't go to jail for utilizing how our capitalistic society works. You actually should be rewarded for it. Should we govern ourselves? Absolutely. As I said, one legal fund. I'm wide open for it. Everybody puts their crap at the door. We just agree on 1 or 2 lawyers, and everybody puts in, and let's go to town. Because eventually it's probably going to happen, because you know how the politicians work, and someone's going to get caught. And then the best thing is, like, if you're going to go up against the government or a state entity, you've got to have funds to back you up. Now, I will tell you, I'm not going to defend someone that won't do the basics on their side. If you trick and misled people, I would never support even giving you the money for it. But if we had someone who gave full disclosure, they used to correct contracts, and everything was above the board, and we checked everything out, let's go get the baddest lawyer, and let's go fight for the freedom that is our God-given right given to us in the Constitution. Let's not be cowards. I'm not scared of anybody. I'm so past that stage of my life. But you've got to read the facts. You've got to get both sides of the story. I'm on the wholesaler side. You decide which side you want to be. Flip with Rick Plus. I will see you guys in 2 minutes. I appreciate you guys, and go out there and get deals, man. Let's double closing cures almost all causes on this. And guys, give disclosure. I agree across the board on it. But I don't think a state should be telling us how to do it. So have a good one, man. I'll see you, man.